You just got a raise. Maybe $5,000, maybe $15,000. And for about 2 weeks, it felt amazing. Then your bank account started looking exactly the same as before. What happened? Seriously, what happened? You earned more money. The number on your paycheck went up. But somehow, some way, you're sitting here at the end of the month feeling the exact same financial anxiety you felt before, maybe even a little worse. And you're wondering if you're just bad with money or if something deeper is going on. Something deeper is definitely going on. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why your brain keeps sabotaging your raises and the 4 rules that actually let you keep the money you earn. Let's start with the science. There's a concept in psychology called the hedonic treadmill. And it's basically your brain's most annoying feature. Here's how it works. Your brain has a happiness set point, a baseline, and no matter what happens to you, good or bad, you eventually drift back to that baseline. Win the lottery? You'll feel incredible for a while. Then you'll go back to feeling normal. Lose your job? You'll feel awful for a while. Then, over time, you'll adjust back to your baseline. This is actually a beautiful thing when life gets hard. But when it comes to money, it's a disaster. Because it means every raise, every promotion, every income bump you get eventually just becomes your new normal. The excitement fades. The extra money stops feeling like extra money. And your brain starts recalibrating what enough looks like. Picture a treadmill. You're walking on it, and dollar bills are flying past you. But you reach out to grab them. And you do, technically. They're in your hands. But the treadmill keeps moving and so do you, and somehow you never actually feel like you're getting anywhere. Here's a real example. Let's say you are making $50,000 a year and you get bumped up to $65,000. That's a $15,000 raise. Sounds life-changing, right? So what happens? You move into a slightly nicer apartment. Maybe $200 more per month. You finally get that car you've been putting off. $300 per month. You start eating out at better restaurants because honestly, you've earned it. Another $150 per month. That's $650 more per month. Times 12, that's $7,800 a year. And we haven't even talked about the new gym membership, the upgraded phone plan, or the weekend trips you're now taking because you can finally afford it. Your $15,000 raise evaporated, not because you were reckless, not because you're bad with money, but because your brain quietly redefined what normal looks like, and your spending followed. You didn't get richer. You got a more expensive version of the same life. And here's the sneaky part. Most of this happens without you even making a conscious decision. That's what we call lifestyle inflation. And it is the most effective silent thief in personal finance. Lifestyle inflation is simple. Your spending rises to match your income, automatically, without you sitting down and deciding to spend more. It just happens. Like water filling up a container, your expenses expand to fill whatever your income allows, and it sneaks in through 3 main doors. The first one is the I deserve it upgrade. And look, you probably do deserve it. You worked hard. You got the raise. The problem isn't treating yourself. The problem is when every single upgrade becomes a permanent new expense. The nicer apartment, the newer car, the premium streaming bundle, the better version of everything. Each individual upgrade feels totally justified, but add them all together and you've quietly signed up for a much more expensive life. The second door is social circle drift. This one is subtle and it hits hard. When your income goes up, the people around you often change, or their spending habits do. Your coworkers at this new salary level go to different lunch spots. They take different vacations. They wear different clothes. And because you're human, you start matching that energy. Not because someone told you to, not because you planned to, but because spending is deeply social. We calibrate our normal based on the people around us. And when your circle shifts, your spending shifts with it. The third door is convenience creep. This is the quiet one. DoorDash instead of cooking. A cleaning service instead of doing it yourself. Upgrading to premium because the free version has one too many ads. Each of these feels tiny. $15 here, $30 there. But convenience creep is relentless, and it compounds fast. Now think about this. Studies show that the average person who gets a 10% raise increases their spending by 8 to 9% within 6 months. 8 to 9%. Which means after all that extra work, after all that career growth, you're keeping maybe 1 to 2% of your raise. The rest? Gone. Absorbed by a lifestyle that quietly upgraded itself without your permission. Lifestyle inflation doesn't ask permission. It just moves in. And just when you think you've got a handle on the spending side, there's something happening in your head that makes the whole thing worse. Because raises don't just change your bank account, they change how you see yourself relative to other people. And that shift in perception is where things get really psychologically messy. Here's the thing about a promotion or a raise. The people you compare yourself to change. When you were making $50,000, you compared yourself to other people making $50,000. That was your reference group, your benchmark. Now you're making $65,000 or $80,000 or $100,000. And guess what? You're now comparing yourself to people at that level. And some of those people are doing very, very well. They have nicer things. They take better trips. They seem more financially put together. And suddenly, even though you're objectively earning more than you ever have, you feel behind. This is the psychology of relative income versus absolute income. And it's one of the most important concepts in understanding why money never feels like enough. You don't feel rich based on what you earn. You feel rich based on what you earn compared to the people around you. Think of it like a ladder. You climb a rung, and that feels great for a moment. But as soon as you're on that new rung, you look around and you see all the people above you, and they become your new reference point. The ladder never ends. The comparison never stops, and no raise in the world can fix a comparison mindset. But this isn't you being ungrateful. This isn't some personal flaw. This is your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. Constantly scan your environment, figure out where you stand relative to others, and flag any gaps as a threat. It's ancient wiring doing its job in a modern world, but understanding it means you can start to work around it. And that's exactly what these 4 rules are designed to do. Rule number 1, the 50% rule. Here's how it works. When you get a raise, before you feel the extra money, before it ever hits your checking account and becomes part of your normal, you auto-transfer 50% of the after-tax increase straight to savings or investments. You set it up once, and you never have to rely on willpower again. Let's make it real. Say you're earning $70,000 and you get a $7,000 raise. After taxes, when that raise is probably around $5,000 in your pocket, the 50% rule means $2,500 goes directly to building your future, automatically, every year. Invested at a 7% average annual return, that $2,500 a year becomes $48,357 in 10 years. From one raise, one decision that you made once. The 50% rule works because it removes the decision entirely. The money never lands in your hands, so your brain never gets a chance to redefine it as spending money. You keep half the upgrade. You keep half the future. That's a trade worth making. Rule number 2. The 30-day upgrade freeze. No lifestyle changes for 30 days after a raise. None. Don't move to a new apartment. Don't buy the car. Don't upgrade the subscriptions. Just wait 30 days and let the excitement settle. Here's why this works. Most lifestyle inflation happens in the emotional window right after a raise, when you're feeling great about yourself and every upgrade feels totally justified. The I deserve it energy is at its peak. The 30-day freeze just lets that energy pass. After a month, you can still choose to upgrade, but now you're doing it with a clear head, not a dopamine rush. A lot of those must-have upgrades just quietly disappear when you wait. Rule number 3, anchor to your old budget. For the first 3 months after a raise, keep living exactly like you did before. Same apartment, same car, same spending patterns. Everything extra, every dollar of that raise goes toward building wealth. This one is powerful because 3 months is long enough to build real momentum. If your raise was $500 a month after tax, the 3 months of anchoring means $1,500 towards savings or investments before lifestyle inflation even gets a foot in the door. And by the time the 3 months are up, you've already seen what's possible. You've already felt what it's like to actually move the needle financially. That feeling is a powerful motivator to keep going. Rule number 4, audit your new normal every single quarter. Every 3 months, sit down and list every recurring expense that didn't exist 12 months ago. Every subscription, every service, every habit that snuck in. And for each one, ask yourself one question. Would I sign up for this today, knowing what I know now? Some of them, yes. Keep those. Others, you'll realize you barely use. You didn't even consciously choose them. They just accumulated. Cancel those. This quarterly audit is your system for catching lifestyle creep before it becomes permanent. It keeps your spending intentional instead of accidental. 4 rules. The 50% rule, the 30-day freeze, the old budget anchor, the quarterly audit. None of them require radical sacrifice. None of them mean living like you're broke. They just mean being deliberate about where your raise actually goes. But here's the truth, and this is the part that actually changes things long term. The rules are tools. They're useful, but they won't stick unless something deeper shifts. Because the real reason raises never feel like enough isn't a math problem. It's a meaning problem. We've been taught in 1,000 subtle ways that more money should mean more stuff. Bigger house, better car, nicer things, and when you get more money and buy more stuff, you feel the same. So you assume you just need more. And the cycle continues. The mindset shift is this. More money should mean more freedom. Not more stuff, freedom. The freedom to say no to work you hate. The freedom to take time off without panicking. The freedom to handle an emergency without spiraling. The freedom to make choices based on what you actually want, not what you're financially forced to do. Wealth isn't what you spend, it's what you keep. Picture 2 paths. On one path, every raise becomes a bigger house, a newer car, more debt, more pressure to maintain the lifestyle you've built. On the other path, every raise buys back a little more of your time, a little more of your options, a little more peace. Both paths are available to you. Every raise is a fork in the road. And now you know which way to turn. The goal isn't to feel rich. The goal is to feel free. If this changed how you think about your next raise, hit subscribe. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, breaking down the psychology behind why smart people stay broke and what to do about it. And if you want to keep going right now, watch this video next. It covers the exact same money psychology, but from a completely different angle. And I think it's going to hit just as hard. See you there.